Welcome, everybody, to the Boot FC podcast with me here, James from Boot Wizard Boot Reviews, and also with Yaz from YJ Football. You may know me, I do the Boot Wizard YouTube channel where we review the latest releases, we do unboxings, all that kind of good stuff. And Yaz and I have come together to basically put out this podcast as frequently as we can. We're not offering any promises right now. This is our first ever podcast, and we're going to be hitting you with a really big topic today that we will get into later. Yaz, what are you feeling? How are you feeling about doing this brand new podcast?
Honestly, I'm very excited. We've been talking about this for so long, and it's amazing that we finally got it together and recording our first episode. So I'm really excited and very happy to be talking boots and everything about world football with you guys that are listening or watching our podcast as well. So welcome to our first episode, and honestly, just very excited, just excited to get into it. And maybe just a little bit about
Fantastic.
us, YJ Football as well. Like James does amazing boot reviews and stuff as well. And we do very similar content. We mostly focus on unboxings, reviews, and some tutorials as well. So we try to cover a little bit of different stuff. And we actually run it in a duo, myself, Yaz, and my friend Jono. We run the YJ Football show. So that's a little bit about us. And I guess we'll get into our first topic without wasting too much time. Right. So what are we
Yeah,
talking
so
about?
we were thinking that obviously we wanted to talk about the latest releases. We want to do this kind of every podcast, right?
Yeah.
But we're currently in a position where those latest releases and everything's kind of being pushed back, and we haven't really got a lot coming through at the moment.
No, we don't. It's quite unfortunate. Everyone's hit in different ways because of this whole situation. Some a lot worse than others. And us being football addicts, so we love our sport, then we're not able to play it. We're not able to enjoy or watch the games. And worst of all, I guess for us, like the boot releases are really affected as well in terms of shipping, in terms of nothing's coming out. So literally in every way possible, we're not getting our football content or for any the enjoyment of sport. So and yeah, just the releases in general, I'm really missing. I was really looking forward to a few things in there, but who knows when they're going to come out now.
Yeah, like it could come out at any time. The only real noticeable thing we've had recently is obviously the Neymar boot, the
Yeah,
one for
I don't know how to
the
pronounce
the
the
Copa
name.
America boot, basically.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce the name for that one. It looks okay.
No, I'm not even going to try.
And what do you think of the looks though? I'm not completely sold on the looks of it. I did like the Speed Freaks a little bit better, and it does look a bit little better than the Shush one, but I don't know. The Neymar releases is kind of fly under the radar for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's an improvement over some of the previous boots we got. The yellow one I didn't really like
I
that.
actually really like
Even
that
though it
one.
had some kind of like, of course you did. It has old vapor
Yeah,
vibes.
no doubt.
Then the shush boot I think was a bit convoluted. It clearly was a story about how Neymar was basically telling the haters, the critics to shut
Yeah,
up, and
yeah.
they made it all about like him going to his quiet place. It
Mm.
was useless. It was stupid.
No,
The
didn't make
Speed Freaks
sense.
I think were fantastic.
The
Speed
only
Freaks,
the only thing
one of
about the
my
Speed
favorite
Freaks,
Neymar boots.
the only bad thing about the Speed Freaks for me was there was literally like no story behind it. Apparently, he just liked racing. Was that the story? So it didn't really make sense.
That's literally the story.
I don't know. Well, and it seems like both the Shush and this current release both flopped. One was because he was injured when the Shush one came out, and now the tournament that he was supposed to be flaunting this new colorway and is pushed back till next year. But what I'm also interested in seeing now, if Nike are releasing their boots as per schedule despite the tournament being delayed, does that mean that they'll be creating a new design for the tournament next year with their newer boot ranges? That's what I'm really curious about. That's what I really want to see.
It's a good point. Like, you might find that they've got another boot for Neymar already pre-planned because obviously they're so far in advance. They might
Exactly.
be 6 months, 12 months in advance. So maybe even longer. So you might find that they've got that Neymar boot ready for next year around this time anyway, or one for January or something. And they might just gradually push it and call it a Copa America boot
Yeah,
to match it up, which, is fair enough. And these ones, they do have that kind of bright vibe they usually go for Copa America boots. And I like the idea that they kind of tried to pull in different elements of different Neymar boots to this particular boot, but I just don't think they really went far enough. I think it looks good. It's super bright, and you better be like a young Cristiano Ronaldo or young Neymar to be wearing them, because
Yep.
otherwise you're getting kicked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I know the
it's
type.
not my favorite, and I love a story with my signature boots, and I
Yes.
don't think there's really enough story here.
And especially following up from something as unique and cool as the Bondi Mbappe Superflies, it just feels like they've just gone for quantity over quality with the Neymar releases. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
I agree with you. I absolutely agree. I think they're rocking out Neymar releases, Cossi's Neymar. They don't really sell that well anyway.
Yeah,
And that Bondi release for Mbappe, my word,
the
that
thought
is
behind it,
unbelievable.
that was good. Surely that was probably my favorite signature release of the last season, up to maybe 12 months back, if I remember correctly. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back of like signature boots and things like that. I don't like Ronaldo didn't have anything particularly special.
No,
The Speed Freak was nice, but didn't really have the story. And then yeah, the Mbappe is just like the story that went behind it, the design, the gold, the green that ties all back to Bondi. It's so well put together, and it's a perfect example of how you do a
exclusive
signature boot.
signature boot.
It reminds me a little bit of the in terms of story at least, the Mane boots that they released, the
Oh,
Rise of a Lion
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Those had a great story as well. Another fantastic signature boot, but it shows Nike can do it. They just tend to choose not to. They're just like, hey,
Yeah,
Neymar boots. They
yeah.
go,
Like it comes back to, I guess, the quantity wise. They instead they're worried about getting more Neymar boots out in a year rather than focus on one good one like they did with Mbappe and get that one good one out with a good story, great design and everything. So I don't know.
yeah,
We'll have
but
to talk to the Nike design team.
yeah, let's give Nike a call and be like, look, and as well, I think if you had one amazing one, it'd sell better anyway, because the
Yeah.
Neymar boots don't exactly sell
Yeah.
out. You can always pick them up on discount.
Literally right now, the new
So
one came out maybe a week ago and it's already on sale. So if you really want, you can go pick it up for less already, and it's only been a week.
yeah,
That's just.
that's a lot to do with the current situation as well.
Oh,
But
that's true. That's
Neymar is
true.
not shifting boots. But there again, not Messi doesn't sell boots either. So
Yeah.
it's nothing to do with the player, really, is it?
No, no.
But anyway, shall we move on to our topic of the day?
Cool.
The thing that we're going to discuss. And I
Yes.
said we were going to go for the big topic here.
Yeah.
We're going to go for something huge. We're literally going Nike versus Adidas, right?
Big clash.
So we're going to take all of the current top end Nike boots, all the current top end Adidas boots, put them head to head in their categories. So you get the speed category, the control category, things like that. And we're going to decide which boot within that category is better. And from that, work out who has the better lineup of boots. This is the endless question, Nike or Adidas, they're the big two. Which one is going to be better? And this is going to prove it, finally and for all. And nobody's going to discuss it after this.
Yeah, it's gonna be so
Maybe.
controversial. I'm just hoping I don't piss off too
Yeah, I
many
know,
people.
right? Oh, I'm going to upset some people.
Okay. Yeah, it is gonna be. It
Okay.
is a big bang. Like James was saying that we should start off with a really controversial, something that'll get people talking. And what else? What is better than discussing the two biggest boot brands out there and trying to figure out which one's the best? So, all right. So, where do you want to start? We've got 4 different silos from each brand. So you go for your first pick.
Okay. Let's start big. Let's go
Oh.
for the biggest one across. Let's start with the speed boots.
Awesome. So,
So
have
that
you got
means
them there
that
with
we've
you?
got. I do, yes.
Cool.
So hold on. I should have picked something else. There's like 4 of them. Hold on. Here we go.
Cool.
So to run down what we've got, and we're just doing the top end boots here. So we've got the Vapor 13 Elite just here.
I've got my Dream
This
Speed
is my
here.
future. Yeah. There you go. Oh, we've got some nice Vapor 13s, man.
You too. You got
Then
some nice
we've
ones.
Superfly 7,
Wow.
which I've got here.
Yep. Totally
So
jealous of those ones.
honestly, no, I bought these because they were super cheap. Like I paid about €60, €70 for these boots. I only got them because they were that. I hate them. I
Uh-huh.
really don't like
Yeah.
this colorway.
I actually
But,
love the
you know,
colorway, and I'm sort of regretting not picking it up. I went for the blue and the orange one on release. I couldn't get a third one. That was my bad.
I'm sorry, I suppose.
Cool.
Then from Adidas, we've got the X 19.1,
I've
which
got
I've
the
got
plus.
in the blackout colorway. and the Plus model, which Yaz has there, in probably, like, we could have an argument just about this. Which one of us has the better looking
Oh,
X19
those are
Plus? Is
beautiful.
it
Those are
the
beautiful.
input code or the hardwire?
I
You
can't
know,
decide.
I think you win
There's,
that
there's
one.
actually
The
a few
gold on
colors I
that is
love.
beautiful.
There's actually a few colors that I really love. There's the archaic pack with the amazing kind of
Uh-huh.
sole plate, the dark gray kind of sole
Yeah.
plate. I love that one too. But anyway, yeah, this is quite
Nice.
nice. I'm pretty happy with this pickup. But yeah, this is a major
Okay.
category, and
So
this
my
is
theory
probably
is
the most controversial one, to be honest, between
so my
these two.
theory is this, right?
Yeah, go for it.
So we're putting them head to head, and it's kind of difficult to do that across 4 boots.
Your
So my
hands are
thoughts
full.
are, yeah, but I look at this. So my thoughts are that we take the best boot between of each brand within the foot, right?
Okay,
So I think we can both agree that the laced model is better than the laceless for Adidas,
cool.
right?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I left my
Okay, so let's
X19 inside though, indoors. I got.
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
I've got one
We'll
here.
go.
Mine's just battered.
Cool. We'll go with your one.
So let's throw out the 19 plus.
Yeah,
It's gone.
that's gone.
We
You
don't want that
literally
one
threw
anymore.
it. Okay.
Yeah, and then we've got here the Superfly and the Vapor. They're the same boot, but the Superfly has a collar, but it's
I'm gonna go
also
for
more expensive.
right. I'm gonna go for Vapor
So I
on this one,
think
and it's
Vapor,
it's
of
also the
course,
one I
right?
have in my hand right now. So we're gonna go with that one. Yeah.
Just for the sake of
Yes.
it, right? So let's get rid of the Superfly.
Awesome.
So that leaves us with the better value option from Nike, and exactly the same performance, and the better performing option from Adidas.
Yep. That's the
So
one.
we have to decide which one of these two is the better boot. So, Yaz, over to you.
Oh, you're gonna dump this on me. Okay. So
I
guys,
am 100%.
if you already watch YJ football, if you know me well, you know that I'm a big fan of the Nike Mercurial range. I've basically got every Mercurial from 2010 onwards, every Vapor. That's it. So I don't want to sound like I'm biased or anything. I'm just letting you know beforehand. But I love everything about the Vapor, especially the current model. I'd say is the best one they've done so far. The upper, the Flyknit upper with the high tenacity yarn is actually quite soft, fits really well, still gives you that lockdown, and the amazing traction, which is what I go to the Mercurials for each time, is still there. It's probably its best form yet. With that said, the X19.1 from Adidas is my probably second or third favorite boot at the moment, and it's amazing. It's comfortable. It's got that speed frame. They keep changing it every once in a while.
Speed frame. It's a sprint frame, isn't it? Let's
Okay,
be honest.
yeah.
But they changed the name to speed
The
frame.
speed frame sole plate is awesome. It feels great, and you can see why they've brought it across the different years of generations. And I actually love the boot. I'd say it's Adidas's best boot if we're comparing all the boots from Adidas. I really like the X19.1, but between the Vapor 13 and the X19.1, I'm gonna have to go with my Vapor 13. It's just very hard to fault, and I actually love it.
And the whole world was shocked that Yaz picked a Vapor.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. But I'm
Okay.
expecting to see some people on the X19 side and some people on the Vapor side, but this is my choice here. What's yours, James?
I'm not going to go into too many details. You basically covered everything there. You get the better traction on the Vapor, which is a huge plus. I think the way that I would look at it is if you're looking for the best speed boot, then it has to be the Vapor. It is
Right.
simply the best speed boot. The X is a fantastic boot, still really good. It offers you a little bit more comfort, a little bit more flexibility. Somebody recently said to me that this is the people's speed boot.
Ooh.
And I think that's a really good way of putting it. It's a boot that's going to fit most people, be comfortable for most people, tick most people's boxes. You're
Right.
not going to put them on and be like, oh my God, what is this Aerotrax outsole and this super stiff sole plate?
Right.
Why does this wrap so closely to my feet? So, like, generally, you might find that more people, once they put them on, will find like, oh, this is a nice boot. But pure performance, I said this in a video, there is a possibility that the Vapor is the best performing boot on the market. Not speed boot, just
In
boot.
general,
Like, there's
all-
probably some
all
stuff from
rounding.
Mizuno that is going to come up and be in there, but I can't pick anything apart from this, and they look amazing too. So while this is a fantastic boot, like you say, it has to go the Vapor, doesn't it? So round one,
Yeah,
speed
I
boots.
think so.
It's
Nike.
Vapor time. So I'm going to throw another boot now. The X
Cool.
can go over there.
I'm gonna
There we go.
carefully transition them onto this side of the screen. I'm not gonna throw them around. Cool. All
There's a
right,
pillow
can I
over
pick
there.
the?
I'm
I'll
aiming
pick.
for it. Don't worry.
Okay, I'll pick the
Yes,
next category. We're
you go,
gonna
Yaz.
go
All right,
with
I pick speed boot. What are you doing?
okay, we're going for the leather option for each brand. So
Oh,
getting through that quickly because I think it is also quite a popular one in terms of comfort, in terms of touch. It's the one that a lot of people will still go for. So with Nike, we have the Tiempo, and I've got it in quite a
oh,
nice
look at those
colorway.
boots.
And I don't want to get it dirty still. I still haven't worn these and probably not going to wear them. 800 pairs worldwide, just flexing a little bit. And then from Adidas, we have the Copa. I've got the 19 plus. It's literally the same as the 20 plus, except for the texture on the top. And the 18.1, 19.1 mostly has the same uppers, except it's not laceless, is it? So these are the two. Do you want to
Yeah,
start us off?
yeah, so if you do watch my channel, you will know that I actually personally don't review leather boots on the channel. But what I do is I go down to my local sports shop, I put them on, and you know those little cages that you get in there that you can like try the boots out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always do that with the leather options because I don't buy them and review them. So for me, this is a fairly easy choice because you've got two boots that actually feel very different. The
Hmm.
Tiempo feels like, look at it this way, the Tiempo is the better performing boot of the two, I think. It gives you better lockdown, the movement's better, you get a different touch on the ball. I think it actually performs a little bit better. I even prefer the sole plate. But when you put it up against the Copa and you realize that it's in a leather boot category, that Copa and the way that it fits on your foot, it feels like a proper leather boot. It's very plush, it's comfortable, it's slipper like. It really is a fantastic leather boot in terms of touch and feel and all that good stuff. And then when you compare that to the point one model, there's no comparison. We didn't even have to make a decision here. The point one Copa I don't think is a particularly great boot, just because of the way it's designed. The Plus is a much better boot, and I don't think I've ever said that about a laceless boot, that it's better than the laced
No.
option. Um, but for me, like I say, I do perfectly 100% transparency. I don't go out and buy and play in leather boots, but I do always go and try and test them, and I'll spend some time with them. And for me, as soon as you put them on, it's evident that if you want a high quality leather boot that gives you that proper leather feeling, the Copa 20 plus or 19 plus, they're basically the same boot, are some of the best on the market.
All right.
Yeah, it's a pretty definitive answer from me. What do you reckon?
Cool. I have to agree with you on most points there, except let's see. For me, I really like the tempo. Don't get me wrong, but for me, I think it's got a bit too much going on, and having the quad fit and flying it incorporated with the whole upper, I feel like it's taking away from the leather experience a little bit. It's meant to be a more pure leather,
Yeah.
like it's meant to be the leather experience from Nike, but it seems like it's trying to combine all their latest technology, which I believe is a little bit unnecessary. While the Adidas Copa 19 Plus, it's still moving into the future with a laceless design, but you still get that really comfortable plush leather feeling. It feels premium, like slipper like you said. I love how it feels. Both have a really good fit. You can get a really nice lockdown on with the quad fit on the Tiempos and the laceless. For a laceless boot, it's actually a really good lockdown. But in terms of a leather boot, I feel like you're getting what you're looking for a bit more with the Copa 19 Plus, the Copa range, rather than the latest Tiempo. So for me, it's going to be a Copa for this one.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair, and I like what Adidas are doing with that. Oh, what's the name of it? The fusion skin tech. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like a huge step forward. Like, I think that's a bigger step forward for leather tech than people seem to realize. Being able to basically glue elements to leather isn't really something that we've ever been able to do before, especially not the way that they're doing it at the moment. So I think that's a
yeah.
big step forward as well.
It is. It is also a one-piece upper, basically. There's no stitching or anything, and it seamlessly combines, like you said, with the fusion skin, where it combines with the prime net portion of the collar. So that's really cool what
Yeah,
they've done.
it's pretty
So
impressive.
that's our leather category.
All right, so we're one apiece then. One for Nike, one for Adidas. So
That's the
all
one.
right, I'm gonna do one that I think is potentially gonna split us.
Cool.
We're gonna go for their. I don't even like. I suppose at this point it's kind of the power boot category because the Predator and the Vision are control. So I suppose it's the power boot. Really, it's the
It's
kind of odd
the
the odd
attacker's boot,
ducks
I
of the.
guess. What I don't know.
Pardon?
Yeah, attacker's boot. I don't actually know because one's
Yeah, all right. Let's
agility.
let's call it that. Like a forwards boot, um, whatever it is. So it's the Nike Phantom Venom, the Venom Elite. Oh, I love that colorway. It's so nice. This is another boot I have that I got crazy cheap that I don't particularly like the colorway of.
I always manage to get the
And
launch colorway somehow, but that's why I've got this one.
launches are always the best. Always the best. And then the Nemesis line. So I have the 19.1 here, and you have the 19 plus there. So and I'm going to say exactly what I said last time. We should probably ditch one of the Nemesis.
Yeah,
And like, is there really any question about which one's going?
I'm not gonna throw it. I'm just gonna
He's not
carefully
going to
place
throw it.
it.
He's not going to throw it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going for the
To
laced
to
model
quick
again.
to quickly touch on that Nemesis 19 plus, I think it's the worst laceless boot on the market.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
For
the
me,
lockdown's just not good.
it's almost non-existent for me. Like it looks cool on feet. Like it's really good to get some content out with some photos. But honestly, like I wouldn't wear this to a game, to be honest. I'd always pick a
Yeah.
different boot that I could actually lace off. So
Yeah. No, I like the look of that Nemesis. I think it's a nice looking boot, and I know it's a bit controversial, but I generally quite like it. But the yeah, the performance is not there at all.
no,
So jumping into these, Yaz, I'm gonna let you go first here.
cool. I'm gonna
Nemesis or
just
Venom?
I'm just gonna hold my Nemesis Plus, although I'll be talking about the point one version.
I will display the point one while
Cool.
you talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So what I really liked about the Nemesis is that torsion tape upper. I think it's really unique and it's really different from anything else that's available. It's like literally no other boot uses that sort of upper, that sort of design. And it's very cool. It feels nice and you get a very close to the ball feel in my opinion. But although I don't know, there's just something about it that I didn't quite get into. I love the design of it. I know Messi wears it, but I just couldn't find much I liked about it that other boots weren't already doing. You know what I mean? I couldn't find a reason to wear that specifically. But with the Venom, let's see, let's start with the Venom. It almost feels like when I first got it, I almost thought it was like a Mercurial with a striking zone attached to it. And I was actually really excited when this first came out because I was looking for something like T90-esque, right? But when I got it, I was kind of disappointed that it's not actually that it's not like it doesn't really make much of a difference like the current Predator generation does. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, absolutely.
what I'm gonna say is that neither boot particularly impresses me, to be honest. Out of like, I'd say they're my least favorite at the moment out of both brands. But if I had to choose one, I'd go for Venom. I just really like the fit of these. They're quite similar to something I like to wear, like an old school Mercurial almost. How the upper feels, and just the design of it. I don't know. It's a difficult category for me to judge, but I'd go for the Venom on this one.
Okay, fair enough. And if you watch my YouTube channel, you already know where this is going. But
Right.
anyway, so I'm going to start with the Venom because I think it's a decent boot, and I completely agree with what you said. Is that it feels a little bit like it belongs in kind of that mercurial category with the
Yeah.
tight one piece upper, the fly knit, and then they've just added this striking element that doesn't do a great deal. I really like the front portion, that kind of honeycomb texture that's on the front there. I think that's quite nice. The lace cover is controversial. I don't hate it, but it's a bit
Some people have
stupid.
actually cut
Uh,
them off, I saw. That's really weird.
yeah, I, I'm not like it seems to be an integral part of the structure. Like it physically holds two pieces
Some,
of the boot together.
yeah,
So if you're considering cutting the lace cover off on the Venom, my advice would be don't.
don't do it.
Yeah, and then yeah, overall, I think it is a good boot. But I think part of the problem is that it is very similar to a Vapor with a striking element.
Yeah,
Like Nike have this thing where their boots, and it kind of the same as what you said about their Tiempo. A lot of their boots are transitioning into boots that feel very similar to each other. They're
yeah.
all fly-knit uppers. They all wrap your foot, and they've even done that with a leather Tiempo. And I like this boot. I think it's a good football boot. But does it excite me when I put it on? Does it make me love it? Not really. Yeah, the outsole is very good. I like this hyperreactive outsole. I like the stud pattern that you get. I think it's a very good boot. I think it looks good, but yeah, it's just not exciting.
No, not for me.
Then, haha.
Here we go.
Nemesis.
Here we go.
Right. So I'm gonna
Let me
I'm gonna
just get
caveat
ready.
this. Okay. So I completely understand that this is not the best performing boot on the market. Okay. I even recently did a video where I compared it to the Vapor, and I did graciously allow the Vapor to win. But this is pretty much my favorite boot to wear. Put this in my bag every single time I'm going to go and play, even if I'm testing a new boot. Just in case, we'll pop the Nemesis in there. So, and it's not even the type of boot I would normally go for. And so while you said that there's like nothing in there that you felt was a bit like kind of different, I have the opposite experience.
Okay.
So the fact that this is such a ridiculously barefoot touch on the ball, the ping and the shot you get, or I get off this, is fantastic. There's no inner liner. It's all done from this external coating, which is fantastic. Now, admittedly, it's a little stiff out the box, but it softens up real nicely. The lockdown in this is better than on the X, if you ask me. So it's better than their actual speed boot line. Although realistically, it's an agility boot, but it's a speed boot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the sole plate, an area again where people might not love it. It's pretty stiff through the midfoot, and that does, I think, give you like a really responsive boot and everything like that. But it's not for everybody.
Right.
And the stud pattern's actually fairly decent for Adidas stud patterns, which I don't always love. Not as aggressive as the X, but I really like it, and it reminds me a little bit. Oh, hold on, I wonder if I've got them. Fall down. There we go. It reminds me a little bit of the feeling I got from these, from my Pure Agilities with the messy outsole on.
Cool.
So it reminds me a little bit of that, and I really enjoy that. So I really like this boot, and I'm like the only person in the world that does. But considering I think the Venom's so meh, like it's decent without being outstanding, and I think this does several outstanding things. I'm picking the Nemesis, and we were all surprised by that.
Ooh, sounds like a bit of bias to me. I'm kidding. No.
So does that make this round a draw?
Yes. So do we give 1 point each? Or do we not give a point at all?
Point each.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay.
So we've got
point each.
Still, so it's a tie.
It's 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, 2-2. It's a tie. All right. So
we've got the tiebreaker here.
I'm gonna do that thing that upsets you. I'm gonna throw the boots over here. Hold on.
I can't watch. Good thing you guys listening on the podcast instead of watching it can't see what James is doing right now.
Watching me throw thousands of euros of boots across the room.
Yes, it hurts my eyes. Cool.
I didn't throw the future DNA, if that makes you feel better.
Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better in my opinion. All right, guys. So now we're on to the final category, which is the control / well, if you're looking at Adidas, I'd say a little bit of power boot in there, but it is the control category. Yeah. And right now, Nike's current control model that I've got here is the Future DNA colorway pack of the Phantom Vision 2. And it's a really cool boot. And what is the Adidas one? I've actually don't have it with me at the moment, my Predator 20 Plus.
You forgot it? It's all right. Well, it's fine because you have the plus level model, right?
Yep. Yes, I have the plus.
Yeah, so... And I think, again, we would both agree that the plus level model isn't as good a performer as the boots that I have in my hand here. So I have the 0.1 models. So I've got the regular 0.1, which has the
mid-cut collar.
Yep. And the 0.1 low here, which obviously does not have the collar. Aside from that, they're basically the same boot. They have a few... like fit quirks, I'd say, that are slightly different, but they're made the same way. They are fundamentally the same boot. And so if we're going to pick one of them to use as the one we're going to compete with, we'll just pick the one that looks cool, right?
I think the lows, definitely.
Woo!
Those
yes,
are
this
amazing.
This is one of the best looking boots on the market, without a doubt. So, yeah, look away.
Oh, no.
They went that way.
Here he goes again. But luckily, I think it's the last one he's going to throw for the video, so that's okay for the podcast.
I don't know.
Cool. So we've got the Phantom Vision 2 and we've got the Predator 20.1 low. So last time I
Yes.
kicked it off, so you're gonna do this one first.
My turn. All right. So I will start with the Phantom Vision 2 because Yaz has it there. And I like the Vision 2. And the reason that I like the Vision generally, the Vision 2 and the Vision, they feel very, very similar. I like it because of the quad fit mesh. I think that's a fantastic technology that they foolishly placed on the Tiempo, but is really well applied here. The way that it kind of wraps around your foot gives you really good lockdown, helps the responsiveness of the boot without being stiff, is actually amazing. And then you, instead of like a full Flyknit upper, you get almost like a Flyknit shell on top of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really great. And then the texture that they put on top of that is also fantastic. And even the slightly thicker areas of that Nike Skin texture this time around,
Yeah.
I feel like they have added to the overall fit and feel of the boot. Now, my issue with the Vision, I suppose, is that when I first wore it and I first put it on, the Vision and the Vision 2, I was like, this is amazing. I think when I did my Vision review originally, I said it was my favorite boot, maybe my favorite Nike boot.
I do remember
And
that. Yeah.
like I feel like the more I wear it, the less special it becomes. And I don't know why. Like, I just don't feel like. I feel like there's a couple of things with it that just aren't quite there. It feels very different, but does it feel very special? You know?
Right.
And if it wasn't for that quad fit mesh, I would not be impressed by the boot pretty much at all. And I think the outsole is a bit rubbish. The stud shape is okay, and so's the stud pattern. But the actual outsole itself, I don't really like. It just feels a bit flexy and flimsy and doesn't really do a great deal. So it's a good boot. It's probably, I'm probably being far too harsh and far too unfair on it. It's a very good boot, and I do like it a lot, but I just don't love it. There's nothing that excites me about it. The Predator is another boot that I have reviewed recently several times with several different versions, and I pretty much dislike every single one of them. But there's nothing to do with the actual kind of tech that's in the boot. So you get the demon skin, of course, this rubberized striking element. This is, compared to the Venom, this is an actual striking element. This genuinely has feel, effect, grip on the ball, and you can feel that when you're using it. So the demon skin, I think, is really great tech. If you want a striking element, this is a great way to go. The upper itself is quite thin, and I think that adds to the whole aggressive nature of the boot. The outsole is an improvement for sure. This is the SG, but the FG is definitely an improvement. I feel like I'm the only person in the world that hates this boot. I don't hate it. That's not fair. It has construction issues for me. I think it's too tight in the
way?
midfoot, and there's far too much room in the toe box. And I think that the materials, for the pretty much the first time when you compare it to the plus level model, which has the engineered prime knit, they feel a bit cheaper. It's the first time that I feel like I'm getting €60 less worth of boot for my money. Picking between the two is really hard.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna have to pick one.
There
you go.
Oh God. Okay, I knew this was going to happen. I was almost glad it went last because I was like, oh, I've got time to think about this.
Which one's it gonna be?
Okay, just because. Right, this is okay. Out of the box, it would be the Vision. After you've seriously broken it in, and if you could get it on sale, it would be the Predator.
That's a lot of conditions, though.
That is a lot of conditions, and
on a level playing field. If they're both broken in.
Okay, if they're
and
both
you
broken
both,
in,
you got both on sale,
and I paid sale for both of them, it would be the Predator, I suppose. No, I'm picking the Vision. I can't do it. It upsets me, this boot. So neither boot I love, but I'm going for the Vision. I'm going for the Vision 2. I can't overlook the fit issues in the Predator. But I will say that a lot of people are going to really like this boot and what it has on offer. But personally, I'm picking the Vision. I'm going Nike.
Awesome. That's a really tough one.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Oh no, it's my turn now. I'm basically in the
Yeah, now
same
it's
boat
your
as
turn.
you.
Haha! The tables have turned.
I'm sort of in the same boat as you, James. It's hard to decide between these two because, okay, I'm gonna start with the vision. Like you said, I was surprised by how well they fit out of the box, how tight they were, especially when you tighten the laces, pull them good. The quad fit basically wraps around my foot. But with that said, it's good in the heel, it's good in the midfoot, but on the toe front portion of the shoe, I've got actually a lot of room in there. I can wiggle my toes, move them left, right, literally like a bit too much room for my liking. But with that said, quad fit's a really cool technology. It would have been cool if they just kept it on the Vision 2 and not use them like across almost all their half the range. But
Yeah, everywhere.
but that's what makes us unique, and also combined with the layer on top. So it is like a two-layered, double-layered boot, and it's
Yeah,
actually quite cool, like you said, a shell. But with that said, there's boots with Flyknit, there's boots with a mid-cut collar that already does it better than what this is doing. For me,
yeah,
again, it's hard to choose this over what Nike already have on offer. And before I pick my boot of choice, I'm going to talk to you about the Predator as well. I've tried the 20.1, but I own the 20 plus only. And from my experience with 20 plus, I genuinely really enjoyed the fit of the 20 plus model. It was a bit looser than what I liked. I mean, I like a good tight fitting boot, which the laceless one simply doesn't offer. But in terms of the demon skin, the innovation behind it, the feel on the ball you get from it is actually quite unique. It's hard to explain. Like you sort of had to get used to the demon skin spikes being on the shoe. But once they were there,
yeah.
they were really fun to play in. Like the shots you take, the passes and stuff all feel very like pingy, and just the curl you get on them with the demon skin. It was just really fun, and it was different from any other boot. So I really like the Predator 20 plus, and this is where it becomes difficult. Like both of them are good performing boots, but it's not something I'd pick out of all the boots in the world again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I had to choose, I like the lockdown of the vision, but I like the spikes, the demon skin spikes on the Predator. And
Yeah.
I don't want to pick the Predator just for the spikes. Whereas if I was going to a game, I'd probably be happier wearing the Vision 2. So I'm gonna have to go with Vision 2. That's such a
Oh,
terrible
we've just
argument.
we've just upset a lot of people.
Oh my God. Everyone's gonna have my head. Don't unsubscribe from YJ Football or Boot Wizard for this. Whew. Predator fans, we're really sorry. But
We are very
that
sorry.
is the choice we've made.
Yeah, we.
I feel like
Oh
my
my.
reasoning is really bad for that one, but it's just gonna be the vision for that one.
Yeah, I kind of had to just go with it with an instinct, like with a right now. What am I
Yeah,
picking? And just
yeah.
go for the vision as I was feeling at the time. But that was pretty tough, and as I say, a lot of people are going to love the Predator. But
I think that
final
goes through all of our boots.
score that that makes it a 3-2 win to Nike, does it not?
Ooh, let's bring the winners out.
So I threw all mine.
I'm missing one.
Mine are across
Oh,
the other side of the room.
here we go.
The winners! The crowd goes wild. So yeah,
Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience. I'm kidding.
we have
Sorry.
put this debate to bed, and it is official that Nike is better than Adidas for
Currently,
about two
currently,
minutes until
currently.
until we all change our minds. If you are watching this on YouTube, then you can obviously drop down in the comments, tell us why we're wrong, shout at us for pushing the Vision over the Predator, and tell us, kind of go through every category. What boots would you have picked? Who's your
Yep.
winner? It'd be super interesting to see who has got that. If you agree with us, hit the like button. If you disagree with us, also hit the like button.
Yeah, yeah.
So because
Sounds logical to
we
me.
appreciate it. Technical issue, it's fine. I fixed it. Don't panic. All right, so
Ooh, that was
what
quick.
we have decided, moving on from that very quickly before somebody finds out where I live and comes for me with a baseball bat. Yaz and I've decided that every single time we do this podcast, I'm not giving a time frame, we are going to do something that, as of now, we are calling the Gauntlet. And basically, this is the opportunity where we are going to have some questions on a particular topic, and you are going to try and have to answer as many questions as you possibly can as they get progressively more difficult. There will be a leaderboard because the big exciting thing that we really want to do with the Boot FC podcast is we want to get guests on. So we want to get other people from the football boot world, enthusiasts, collectors, players, anybody you can think of. We want to get them on to this podcast with us. There's already some people that want to do it, and we are going to make them run the gauntlet. So they're going to pick the category, we're going to write the questions, and we're going to have a leaderboard, see who is, I don't know, the king of the Boot FC podcast gauntlet. That's far too long. We'll think of a better name. But to yeah,
we're gonna get a belt or a trophy or something.
I'd love that. Let's get a belt.
Ship it out.
So what we're going to do is to start this off, and so there are at least 2 names on the leaderboard. Yaz and I are going to take each other on. So I have questions for Yaz. Yaz has questions for me. And the topic was basically our YouTube channels. So we might have gone different ways with this, but it could be any boot that we've reviewed, anything that we've covered, anything we've said, done. If it's on the YouTube channel, it's fair game. I feel like that's a little bit unfair because I have 200 videos to go through. But
yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't go through your videos, but I assumed that you being a wizard would know a lot of things about boots. So I've kind of kept it within the football boot category, a little bit broader, with a little bit of world football thrown in. But I'm sure you'll be fine.
I hope you got the hint of what I was looking at yesterday when I commented on your GS360 video.
Oh, we'll see. I was wondering why he commented on a video from January last year, but okay, now I'm a bit
you know
worried.
when people are like scrolling through like somebody's Instagram, they're like stalking them, and they accidentally like a post from like a year ago. That was basically me yesterday going through Yaz's YouTube videos, and I commented on his GS360, and afterwards realized that it was from like over a year ago, and I looked like a massive creep.
No, Skiller FC did it before you, so he's the actual creep.
That's
if you're
true.
watching, man, we love you.
Yeah, hi Skiller, we love you, but you're a creep. Okay.
Okay. All right. He said it, not me.
Who is going first? Who wants to answer questions first?
I guess I'll go first. So
okay.
My questions don't look too bad.
All right. So
okay. So do we put it? Oh, it's a gauntlet, right? So there's no timer.
No timer. We decided no timer. We're just going to go through. The questions will get progressively more difficult. The first 5 will have multiple choice options. Everything from 6 onwards will be will be without multiple choice options.
I didn't put multiple choice for you for the first 5. So
okay.
But they're easy. They're easy. We'll see.
Difficulty-wise, so progressively harder. And then the idea being that once you get to about questions 9 and 10, they should be pretty ridiculously hard. And if you can answer that, you're officially some kind of genius or wizard. So we will begin with question. Oh, look, I made cards and everything. They're pretty terrible. But
wow. I've just got them on my screen, so I'm a bit less tech than you are.
Okay. We go question 1.
Here we go.
Super easy to start with. What's the name of the outsole on the new Predator 20 Plus? Is it the speed frame, the control frame, or the power frame?
Control frame.
Control frame. Correct. He's through round 1. Oh, we also forgot to mention that you get 1 life. So you get to get 1 question wrong and then move on, basically. So you get 1 life. So, next up.
Question 2.
Question 2. We both reviewed the Nemesis 19 Plus when it was released. But what's the name of the tape used to make up the upper? And I know you know this because you said it earlier. Is it tension tape, Titan tape, or torsion tape?
We'll go with C, torsion tape.
It is torsion tape.
I totally did not look at the boot as it was sitting beside me right here.
I shouldn't have thrown the boots. Oh my god. Okay.
I don't think it actually says. Oh, no, it says torsion system. It doesn't actually say.
Yeah, it doesn't say tape, but the giveaway is in the torsion system. Yeah. Okay. Question 3.
Yep. Cool.
You've reviewed all of these boots, but which of them is the cheapest to buy at full retail price? Ooh. Is it the Puma Future 18.1, the Umbro UX Acuro 3, or the New Balance Furon V5? So this was when they were all full price when they were first released.
Wow. I can't remember the price.
Would you like the options again?
No. I think I've got it. I'm going to go with the Pumas.
The Future 18.1.
Yes.
You're incorrect, sir.
No.
It was the UX Acuro 3. The UX Acuro 3.
I know what happened. I didn't buy the Puma 18.1s at retail. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, guys, don't
We failed at
unsubscribe,
question 3,
unsubscribe
but
just
it's
yet.
fine.
I've got one
That's
more
Yaz's
life.
life gone. But he's like Mario. He's jumped up. He's got a green
Got to give
mushroom.
our guests a chance, right?
He has another chance. We will move on, but there's no more lives, no more chances.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
on to my GS360 question. What's the name of the knit used to create the Nike GS360? Is it fly knit, circle knit, or helicopter knit?
Just because of how funny the last answer is, I sort of want to pick it, but we'll go with circle knit.
You haven't got lives to waste
Helicopter
anymore,
knit.
Yaz. Okay, circle knit.
Nike's got to hire you, James.
Circle knit is of course correct. All right, question
Cool.
5. We got 3 points. Okay, last one with multiple choice options. This is very specific to you and your channel. Which boot
Okay.
did you say was the equivalent of wearing a suit? Did you say it about the Nike Lunar Gato 2, the Uno Zero Modelo 1, or the Copa 19 Plus?
The Uno Zero Modelo 1.0. I do remember that specifically. It was literally luxury in a boot. That's how I felt when I first picked them up.
He is correct.
That's the one.
Of course he's correct. He remembers what he
Nice.
said. All right.
I know my channel.
Yeah. Okay. That
Cool.
is the first 5 over. We have 4 points. We now move on to the significantly more difficult questions. And they get more and more, they get harder and harder as we move on. I think you'll get this one though. So,
Okay.
which boot features in your most viewed review?
Most viewed review.
Yeah.
I think it was the Predator 18.1, if I'm correct.
Predator 18.1? Is that your final answer?
Yes. Yes, that's the
It's
one.
not. It's the X19 Plus.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, unboxing or review? Technicality question.
Oh, that is a technicality. I did say review.
Oh,
So,
because
because I have
it's
the
up to
numbers,
you. It's up to you.
I have the numbers and the names here. So I did say review, and technically your X19 Plus is an unboxing. It's not a review. All right.
Do I
You know what? I'm going to
squeeze
give you
through?
it.
Do I squeeze
I'm
through?
going to give you
Oh,
that is fair.
okay.
My
That's a
question-
technicality issue.
My question was flawed. Okay. So we have 5 points.
Okay, guys, we made it through. We made it through on a technicality.
Yeah, we're going to
All
give
right,
you it.
I'm
We're gonna
still
give you it.
alive.
Five
still alive.
points out of 6 questions. Okay. All right, here we go. Right. This is a really mean question, but I
scary.
really wanted to ask
Oh
it.
no. Oh
Okay.
no. Okay. This is us. This is us.
Okay. So, you've collaborated with our friend David on a FIFA games in real life video. Okay? What's up, David? How you
Yep.
doing? But what is the actual name of David's YouTube channel?
Official MC football.
See, I knew you were going to say that, and it's wrong. That's the name of his Instagram. His YouTube is
Oh.
David MC. David,
Why do you do
Yaz
this?
doesn't love you.
Okay, David, get your names on your accounts straight, please. I'm kidding. That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I knew it would be different. I think I jumped in too confidently there. That's my bad. That's my bad. Sorry, David. I should have known.
And then
I
my
should have
final
known.
question, which is the real reason that I was on your GS video, which I really wanted to ask you this.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to get to question 10. Do you know what number your GS360 are? So they're a limited edition. They have a number on the back. Do you know what number they are?
No,
No,
I
I
can't remember
I wouldn't either.
at all.
It's 1,225, in case you were wondering.
That's the one. I knew it was gonna be something related to the numbering on that. Wow. Okay.
All right.
I was
So
actually scratching my brain for that.
you got 5 years. You have 5 points, and that
Got
for
5.
now puts you at the top of the leaderboard. Congratulations.
Okay. We were at the top, guys. We were at the top. All right. Okay. So let's try to see if my questions are difficult enough for James.
I'm really worried.
So
about this.
I didn't scrounge through James's 200 odd videos almost. Is it what? Not 190 something, is it? currently?
198, I think now.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, you can see he's got a lot more videos than us at the moment. But I think I've got a few questions that'll make him struggle, but I feel like I've gone based on his questions, I feel like I've gone a little bit too easy.
Oh.
But anyway, I didn't do a multi-choice, but I did do a little bit of a easier kind of first 5.
Okay.
Okay, let's start. Okay, what was the first Nike boot to be reviewed on the Boot Wazoo channel?
The GS360. It's my first ever review.
Boom.
February
I watched
13th.
it just earlier today. Correct. You should watch it. It's actually very different from James's current videos.
Please don't watch it. It's the worst. It's my first ever
You look
video
so
and it's
sad in the
terrible.
video. You see a really happy, like bubbly James right now, but in that video, he's almost like, yeah, here's the boot.
I
That's
literally sit there
it.
like kind of stone faced and I'm like, this is the Nike GS 360. It
Oh
has
man,
some
I couldn't believe it
stuff.
was you. Yeah. Oh man, awesome though. That was where Boot Wizard
You've got to
started.
start
I think he's
somewhere.
come a long way. Yeah, that's the important thing. Okay, he's made it to round one, which is a pretty easy question. He knows his channel. Okay, okay, okay. Question two. The Mercurial Superfly 4 was the first Mercurial to feature a Flyknit upper. True or false?
True.
That's another correct one. Well, I think we've gone a bit too easy with that one. So James has got 2 out of 2. 2 for 2. All right, all right. Oh man, I've made it way too easy for
I
you.
feel
I want to
really
change
mean
this.
now. My questions were so hard.
I was trying to help us get on top of the leaderboard, but okay, okay, well, it's fine. One of us can. All right. You guys watching are just gonna think this question's retarded, but the 2019 Champions League final was between which two teams?
You see, this is where you're gonna make me struggle because I actually can't remember off the top of my head. 2019 Champions League final. So last year was Liverpool.
Uh-huh, that's one.
Excellent. I'm good. I'm 50% of the way there. Uh,
You know this one. You know
I
this one. I'm
struggle
already like,
so hard with football trivia. Um, who did they beat in the final? Is it Real Madrid?
incorrect, unfortunately. It was the answer we're looking for are Spurs.
Spurs, of course it's Spurs. God damn it. But
One of the worst finals in a while, in my opinion.
yeah, it was
It's good that
boring. It
Liverpool
was
won. I mean,
boring
good
as
for
hell.
them.
I remember watching
But
it now.
that penalty at the start, and yeah, all
Oh,
good, all good. You still
that was
have
painful.
that's your life gone. Play
I'm a
Liverpool
boot
for it.
wizard, not a football trivia wizard. In case anyone's wondering.
Honestly, I thought that was the easiest question I had on the list. But
Apparently not.
okay, all right. So I've got a similar question to what you asked me about the Nemesis.
Okay.
What is the name given to the upper of the X19 Plus?
The 19 plus is an X-lay skin upper.
You lock in with X-Lay?
Yes, because it's not X-ray.
Okay, yeah, you got it. Awesome. Yeah, it is a weird name. Yeah, like why would they not just name it X-Ray? Because
I
you
know, right?
can
You can.
literally see through the upper.
Yeah,
But
it makes no sense.
X-Lay, whatever. Okay, cool. You've got 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
Cool. Nice. So now you're reaching question 5. Cool. So how many seasons did the Adidas Ace range last before the Predator was brought back?
15, 16, 17. Predator is 18. There's no Ace 14, so 3.
Yeah, that is correct. They brought the Predator back for the 18 range. Cool. You got 4 out of 5. Well done.
Okay.
So
Close
is that how
on.
far I got? I've got 5 points, right?
You got 5, yeah.
So if you get the next one, you're gonna be tied with me.
Yes.
Cool. So I'm sure you've reviewed these two boots on the channel, but I can't remember if you did actually weigh them. But the question is, which boot is lighter? The Puma Future 5.1 or the Nemesis 19.1?
I did weigh them. I always weigh them. So the Future, I think, is about 225 grams, and I think the Nemesis is about 212. So I'm going to go for the Nemesis.
Correct.
Yes!
Yeah. We're tied on points now. Okay.
Woo! Come on.
So okay, we've
For
got
the victory.
4 more questions. 4 more questions. So you've got 5 out of 6. Okay. Another football-related question, and I know you're a Man United fan. Let's see if
Yes.
you're paying attention. This is how I've made it difficult for you, rather than talking about your channel. So what were the boots that Marcus Rashford was last seen wearing before his injury, including the colorway?
Oh! Okay, so I know that he switched to Mercurials this season instead of wearing the Venom. So it's definitely a Mercurial. Now, he wore the New Lights blue for ages. But did he
Yep.
switch to the Future Lab? That's the question. I'm trying to think when he got injured. No, I'm gonna. The new lights. I'm gonna go with the new lights before he got injured because he wore that for a
Locking
long
in?
time.
Locking in with the new lights. Is it
Yeah.
what material though? Is it?
Oh yeah. It could be the Vapor or the Superfly. What does he wear? I think Rashford wears the Vapor. Vapor new lights?
Are we locking in Vapor new lights?
That's what I'm going for.
To me, it looks like from photos that he's actually wearing a
Superfly?
Superfly.
That wouldn't surprise me.
It's hard to see it, to be honest.
It's because the collar's so low now.
This is a stupid question on my part. When I
Okay,
don't
hold
even
on.
know. I
Hold
wrote
on,
down
hold on.
Superfly.
Somebody in the comments is going to be like, "You guys are idiots. How do you
Yeah,
not know that Rashford
not
is?"
us specifically, me specifically. To me, it looks like a Superfly because Andreas Pereira is standing beside him wearing a Vapor.
Yeah, here we go.
So
It is confirmed. He wears the Superfly 7. So,
cool. Sorry for the
I
confusion,
am
guys.
incorrect. Yes, you have beaten me on.
Now
But
that's it for that covers everything for our podcast today.
yeah,
And yeah, well, this is really fun so far. And hopefully, if you guys are interested in being a guest on our show, make sure you flick us a DM. And yeah,
yeah, that is everything from us, from me, from Yaz, and hopefully we will organise time. We'll do this again very shortly. Hopefully there will also be new boots for us to talk about because the new releases are so limited at the moment. We'll find a new fun topic. We'll get a guest on. We will refine the gauntlet, and we will also potentially break out our, I don't know what we're calling it, Wheel of Misfortune, where we will take some questions from you guys and we will draw one off a fabulous spinning wheel that doesn't exist yet, and we will answer that
cool.
for you in depth. But I think that is all from the Boot FC podcast today. That's all from me, James, here at Boot Wizard.
Yes, YJ
And
Football. Make
over
sure
in
you
New
subscribe
Zealand,
and follow us on our channel. So we've got Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube as well. So make sure you follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. And as James said, if you want to get in on asking us questions for the Wheel of Misfortune, make sure you follow us on Instagram because we'll be posting a questionnaire on our story. So hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and that is us. Have a good one, guys.